What's up, you absolutely wonderful Magento 11 friends of mine? Joseph from SwiftOtter here with, yes, another question to prove your expert status. This one is, I don't know, it's incredibly practical, and it will save you a lot of heartache as you remember this answer going forward. It is also part of the upcoming Magento 101 course. Yes, April 10th, we are releasing a new course about how to get started on Magento 1. It's the basics, the fundamentals, what you need to know to get a good footing in this type of development. Now, I will say that it covers a lot more than just, hey, write this here, write that there. In fact, it is built by Chris Nanninga, who has over 12 years of experience in the Magento world. He's worked for numerous agencies, worked on a number of very high-profile websites. He knows what he's talking about. He's learned these great lessons through the course of his career, and he's here sharing them all with you. So April 10th, Magento 101 comes available, and you don't want to miss it. Now, I want to give a big shout-out to our friends who have answered these questions. Great work on this. I'm really pleased to see all of you who took a stab at getting the correct answer correct here. Let's jump into the question. You are cleaning up some code no longer needed in an Adobe Commerce product. You remove an entire module, which includes the table declaration in Etsy DB Schema.xml. You disable the module and run bin Magento setup upgrade. However, the table remains untouched. What is the problem? 3 answers here. For data safety, Adobe Commerce never removes tables or columns. B, the table was not declared in the module's Etsy DB Schema whitelist JSON file. Or C, you should have instead used bin Magento module uninstall instead. All right, let's talk about these given answers. A, well, this is a knowledge thing, but I'm going to tell you right here that A is just incorrect. Adobe Commerce does remove tables and columns. Now, better than just like telling you what's the right answer, what's not, let's actually go demonstrate this. You see, I built out a example right here in our code. And if you switch over with me to see this, we have our DB schema file and we have our module XML file right here. Let's come over to the command window and we'll run a bin Magento module disable SwiftOtter DB schema test. And we will disable it here. And I am just noticing that you can't see it right there. There we go. All right, now we're going to come up to bin Magento setup upgrade, keep generated. So I forgot to show you earlier, but let's see if we can quickly refresh the tables. We have my test table right down here. Nothing in there. That's okay. It doesn't need to have anything in here. This is just a test in this situation. So we run through bin Magento, our setup upgrade, and we come back over to here to our SQL Explorer, and I'm going to refresh the tables again, and the table is still there. So this precisely demonstrates what I'm talking about. So let's come back up to and enable this module. So we're going to run through another series of tests. Now, answer B in this case, let's go look at these answers right here. Answer B was that the module was not, or this table is not declared in the DB schema whitelist JSON file. All right, so if that is true, then we should be able to easily test this answer. Well, I've already created this file, and we're just going to drag it up here into our Etsy directory. And so it's here. We can see that this basically says we have a test table, column, and a constraint, etc. And so now what we're going to do is disable. Actually, I probably didn't need to disable it earlier. Let's let this run through. It'll take just a second or two. Okay. Now we're going to run. Oops, I can just go up here. Oopsie. We can just go run this. And we see that this is now complete. Let's come over here to our database viewer, refresh the tables. We see my test table is gone. So this means that at least B is a correct answer. Let's see about C, because this might be just as easy. So let's run bin Magento setup, or I'm sorry, module uninstall SwiftOtter what was that called? DB Schema test. We'll let this run here for a second. Then we get this as the response. So I think what a number of you were thinking about is there is this remove data field or flag in here. What this is actually doing, and let me see if I can pull this up really quickly here. I wasn't planning it. Oh, I guess it's right here. So let's just drop down here. We have our uninstall command. If get option remove data, we're going to call this remove data. Module uninstaller uninstall data. Drop down here. We have our list of modules that were passed in. And we have our uninstall. So basically what this runs through is it calls the let's see here, it's not pulling that up. What it goes through, it calls it the uninstall scripts in the setup directory. If there's an uninstall class in there, plus it also reverts the data patches. So if there is, as we see, a patch revertible interface, if that is available as well, then it will run through those and apply those revertible data patches. So this is much more for like a composer, and which is ultimately, I was seeing that error there. So I didn't dig into why that error was preventing this because we did have a composer JSON in that directory, which I understand is necessary to run a Magento or an uninstaller like that. So it maybe it was because of the PSR4 not having been updated. Either way, we see that the correct answer in this case is, we hardly need a drum roll, it is B. The table was not declared in the modules etc DB Schema whitelist. So mental note is to include it in there. But the other side of that is that when you do include it in here, you disable a module and Magento will delete out all of those tables from your database or columns, which could have catastrophic consequences. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. That's your answer there for this week. Great work, and we will talk to you later.